Hey everybody, things feel heavy right now. Today, the news is that the Trump administration is trying to take over the Washington, D.C. police force for reasons no one can really understand. It feels heavy to be a citizen, to be responsible in a democracy, and watch your tax dollars going to make war on civilians in Gaza. Um, Everything feels sort of like ethically complicated and fraught and heavy. And that's true of being a musician today, right now, too. I had a new single come out a couple weeks ago, and by default, you sort of we've trained ourselves to pay attention to streaming numbers, Spotify in particular, and it feels like something that I can't really celebrate the wins in it, even because um there are just so many problems with the system, and you're constantly having to ask yourself, is can I participate in this system? Much like paying taxes and voting, when the government or when the powers that be are just doing things that are harmful and bad for us as humans and bad for our neighbors. It's like, where do you draw the line and just stop participating? And so, of course, Spotify throws these moral dilemmas in our laps all the time. Uh, One of my heroes, Neil Young, back during COVID, pulled all his music off of the platform because they were amplifying Joe Rogan, who spread a lot of misinformation, and as part of a misinformation ecosystem that it really has cost people's lives. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Um, you're all aware of how poorly Spotify pays us, and as artists, as creators, and you just start to wonder, well, I mean, we're letting them get away with it. We keep sending them the music, and there are bands actually pulling their music off, artists, singer songwriters just pulling their music off of the platform, and it's a temptation, no doubt. I think I have to consider it, and now, I mean, you talk about a moral dilemma. Daniel Ek, the CEO, became a billionaire profiting off of all of us collectively, and now is reinvesting his wealth in artificial intelligence to make the drones of warfare more effective. I'll have to check this and see if you're getting drowned out. I got a little construction project going on, airplane going overhead. But it's just too nice out here. We don't get these beautiful, beautiful days in North Carolina during the summer very often. It's probably like 75 degrees. Feels so good. Um, but I think the investment in drone AI technology really has given a lot of us pause. It amplified the ethical dilemma, um, and so really, I have to consider, should I pull my music off of Spotify, and part of the reason I'm making this video is to ask what you all think. I'd love to hear from you on this. Put put some comments down, whatever, wherever you're seeing this, or send me an email, jesse@pinkertonrain.com. But honestly, where I have sort of landed, and my operating mode right now is that I'm just trying not to get all up in my feelings about Spotify. It's not a system that I chose. I would have people take home vinyl records or CDs, come to live shows. I mean, those are the ways that I want to share music. but this has sort of just been thrown in our laps in this age, and so we're trying to deal with it the best we can. And I keep my expectations low. I don't expect to really make a living off of streaming. To me, it's a tool to reach people who might not find the music otherwise, and so it's really like advertising, and hopefully people find real human connection with me and with my bandmates, and with the songs, something that goes beyond just an interaction on a streaming platform. And so when you do show up with shows, when you take a piece of merch home, when you sign up on my email list, when you sign up for my Patreon, that's the kind of feedback that actually helps me to know I'm on the right track. So I really appreciate all of you who do that. That's what makes me feel connected, and I hope it makes you feel connected. So I just want to talk about merch for a minute, because I think a lot of people maybe downplay it or dismiss it as just sort of a money-making endeavor, and to me it's not really about that. I mean, that part of it helps, but for me, really, it's just part of the art. It's part of the expression. It's part of the human connection. So for example, this is our newest T-shirt design. It's our first tie-dye design, and it's got this little airplane. And that's designed by a real human being. Her name's Janine Erasmus, and she runs a community art space now, where anybody of all kinds of varying levels of skill and craftsmanship can go and have a party, make pieces of arts and crafts together. I first found out about Janine through a friend of mine, Courtney, who said I should check out her work. She had a line of these feminist greeting cards called Jam and Toast cards, which I just thought were totally awesome. And I thought, gosh, this artist could really help me to express these songs in this album that was inspired by the women in my life, my wife and my mom and my daughter and my sisters, and so I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of the art that Janine made for us for that record. We just got this new order of these logo flasks. They've got the original Pinkerton Raid Molotov cocktail image with the sparkler coming out of it, make it a little more fun. And we were down to our last one of those, so I bought an order of 50. So order one, because I'd love to send it to you. We've got these brand new jackets. It's just right now empty cardboard jackets that came from one supplier, and we're waiting on the vinyl to come in, so we can fill them and package them and start sending them out. This is our Christmas ish sort of record. It's Winter Songs by Other People, Jagged Vacants from the Bon Iver song Holocene. Jagged Vacants is the title that from Bon Iver's lyric, but it's Winter Songs by Other People, all covers. Simon and Garfunkel, Counting Crows, Fleet Foxes, Bon Iver, of course, John Lennon, Yoko Ono. It's 10 cover songs on there. I'm really proud of it, and those will be shipping out in the next couple of months in time for the holiday season. I think it's important to talk about the role that merch plays, because you just, as listeners, you just have so much access to so many songs, and I'm afraid that you lose the connection to them. You lose some of the opportunities to feel something, because the value of a song is just diminished when you have access to so many of them, and so most of them you haven't had any real personal experience with. You haven't heard them live in a show. They haven't been shared with you by a friend. They just show up and you listen, and maybe you like it, but you have to go deeper and stay with a song longer in order to actually experience its depth. Most of the time, you're just getting a fire hose of content sent at you every day. And so I'm looking for those human experiences where we're in the same room together, and you're listening to a song with this group of other people and having a shared experience. You take a sip from this whiskey flask, and it conjures a memory. You look at a 12-inch vinyl record with art that is full of symbol and meaning, and we've got all these lyrics from the greats, the Pogues and Vince Guaraldi from Peanuts, and you can sit with them, and have a real human experience. There are lots of ways you can get a hold of this stuff and try to meet us outside of this very impersonal streaming environment that has sucked us all in. You can go to our merch page, pinkertonraid.com/merch, of course. You can go to our Bandcamp page. But I just want to stress our Patreon, because it's really the best deal for you as somebody who's interested in merch, if that's what you're interested in. Right now, if you go on patreon.com/thepinkertonraid/membership, there's an automatic 10% discount if you sign up for a whole year, as opposed to a monthly payment. And so, essentially how that functions is you're getting a subscription for merch that you might buy any other way, but instead you're saying, I'm going to commit $5 a month, or whatever it is. There are lots of tiers, but $5 a month, as an example, would be $60 over the course of a year. And then what I do is I send you a $60, it's actually a couple of $30 credits, so you can spend that on merch. So you basically are getting back the value of what you're paying in the form of merch. The absolute best deal you can get is at the $15 a month tier, because that's got the 10% annual discount, but then it's got built in another 10% discount just for getting the subscription at that level. You got lots of other options too, cheaper than that, more expensive than that. You could buy house concerts, you could buy guitar lessons, you could buy all kinds of things. But I would love for you to connect with us over this merch that actually means something to us, and it's part of the expression of the art. And with that $15 a month tier, because you effectively get a 20% discount, you would pay $160 approximately over the course of a year, and then you'd get back $200 in merch credit. So that's the best deal going. And on top of that, I think Patreon it's not even fundamentally about the money or about the merch. It's a place for us to build community. I just picked up this book. It's called Humankind. The light is there. You go. I think you can see it. By an author a scholar from the Netherlands, Rutger Bregman, and it says in a sea of cynicism, this book is the sturdy, unsinkable lifeboat the world needs. Humankind, it's basically a human history that highlights how being kind to one another is an engine that has kept human history going. I haven't cracked it yet. I just picked it up at the library, but if anybody else wants to read this, this came recommended by a couple of different sources, and I just feel like watching what's going on in the world, in the White House, in our government, and knowing that people voted for it has really like undermined my faith in humanity and has built this sort of distrust for my neighbors. And I don't like it one bit. It feels like I am spiritually weakened by this feeling of distrust, and I am trying to regain some strength. I'm trying to regain some trust, and I imagine some of you are in the same place. So anyhow, if you want to have a discussion group, we can go on Zoom. We can just use the blog on Patreon and type comments back and forth, whatever you want to do. But this is the sort of thing that I'm trying to do on Patreon. I share new lyrics before they're released, new songs before they're released. Maybe you'll get a sneak peek at videos. You can give me feedback on stuff that I'm putting out before it's in its final version. But all these are ways for us to have a relationship that's built around what I hope is like meaningful, thoughtful art that makes you feel something. So thanks for listening. And I hope you'll meet us out on the road. Join us on Patreon and just keep listening. Thanks.